It's your girl Ashley Camille here at 5th House Bloom. This message is for Scorpio. Scorpio placements for the week of March 14th through March 11th through March 17th. March 11th through March 17th. This is a general message, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. At this time, I'd like to welcome forth the power and the presence of elevated guides who can assist me in delivering the message for Scorpio placements. May you open up our ears so that we may hear the truth of liberation. May you open up our minds so that we may bloom. May you open up our hearts so that we may embrace our divinity. I give thanks. I ask for support in delivering this message with clarity and ease. All right. What's coming up for Scorpio? Here we go. Courage, self-embrace, authenticity. Let me show you the cards. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna take my time. Okay, this is really giving the courage to be your authentic self. It is time, because initially I was going to say was the courage to be yourself, but the reality of it is that you know, there are different versions of ourselves or different variations that we can present our mask in certain situations with certain people. Some of that is simply about survival. Some of that is simply about safety, whether it be our physical safety, whether it be our financial safety and the way you got to show up at a job, or even just our emotional safety, especially when it comes to wanting to belong, wanting to be accepted, wanting to be embraced by others, and to feel this sense of connection. But right now, this mask, whichever one that you are presenting, there's so much strain, there's so much pressure that comes with this version or variation that is simply unsustainable. And so you find yourself in the position of having to remove the layer and to see what is underneath. And it is scary as hell, because the reality of it is part of this, part of being authentic is embracing those pieces of ourselves that we think might be unacceptable, that we think might be harder to love, that there is shame associated with, that there is embarrassment, right? So it's those pieces of ourselves that we think will keep us from having what we want and need, and keep us from making connections. Give me a second. But it's time to slowly let that mask crack away. It's a time to embrace all of those things that you have hidden, starting with yourself. So this is about a sense of kind of like a radical honesty about those parts or those pieces or those things. Like this could literally, let's not just say like our qualities, right? Like it feels like it could have been actions. It could have been like mistakes that were made in the past. It could have been like the unintentional, or hell, even in the past, the intentional harming or hurting of someone by the way that you engaged. And so not only is this calling you for you to face this head on, it's calling you to forgive yourself, which is one of the most courageous things that you can do. To show up for yourself in this with self-acceptance. Who did this come from for? This does not mean we lack accountability. Give me a second. it's stepping up. Not even so, if there was harm caused to other or yourself, it's stepping up and naming that. But part of it with the harming of self, it is, the word self-betrayal is coming up. And so where have you potentially done so by presenting or living out of versions of yourself that are not authentic to you? And will you allow yourself to move forward? This is scary. This is difficult. But notice that there's a flow to it, right? So if you allow this to come undone, it will take you to the places, people, and things that will make space for this authentic. Okay, I got it. Dang. For this authenticity. Thank you. And green. Thank you. 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Four of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. 4 of Wands. Give me a second. Currently, okay, there is an urging to stop holding on to this facade. Stop holding on to this this perception or this projection that you might be trying to present or that others have put on to you. That is a restriction that is keeping you back, and it's not the foundation that you want to build upon. It feels like right now is a critical point of what you or how you are moving is continually at. You are laying a foundation, you are laying a structure, and what do you want it to look like at the end? What happens initially? Who is in mind? What is in mind? How is in mind is the foundation that you will build on. And so you have the opportunity right now, you're at that place that you can build that with authenticity. There's been a lot of, again, I'm seeing this message from the other signs as well about like the structures, about like the boundaries, about what is in place and how that is done. And for you, it really is with the self, the authentic self, the version of yourself that you are trying to create the structures. You're trying to find yourself in the places. You're trying to find yourself with the people that will allow for the fullness, the wholeness of who you really are. If you are seeking out this space, if you are building these space for these projections or these versions of yourselves that you think are acceptable, that cannot be maintained forever. And even if you are able to keep it up, keep up the act, keep up a facade, it will not yield. It will not yield this. And so this is where the courage comes. So that we can build from a truer version of self, so that the things that you look out into the world are a reflection of you. All right, that's the message. Thank you, Scorpio.